Synthesis of the previous literature review. Several factors or themes have been identified from the literature that influence student participation when utilizing ICT. These include student digital literacy levels, student participation, and the transferability of skills. The first theme found through the synthesis was digital literacy. Digital literacy is a student's capability to utilize ICT in a meaningful and effective way. According to McKnight et al., digital literacy improves student attitude towards ICT classroom activities. Both McKnight et al. And Newhouse indicate that digital literacy is built through the everyday use of digital devices and not just ICT or devices that are owned by the school. Volman et al. Highlights that student participation in assessment or classroom activities is a direct result of students' digital literacy capabilities, and that students that do not understand how to use a digital device will be more likely to refuse using a digital device within the classroom. On top of this, Lee and Zhao also cite a study that indicates a student needs on average 3 hours of computer time per day, whether at home or at school, in order to maximize that student's digital learning capabilities. The next theme that was found was in relation to students' overall participation to classroom activities. Shoaib et al. States that the use of digital applications such as Fitbits and Kahoot has been found to increase student participation within classroom activities. Newhouse explains that this is due to allowing students to work using a different and new learning medium that provides students with an extrinsic motivation which encourages the student to further participate. Newhouse also explains that this is more so true if the digital device is owned by the student. Furthermore, Hockley and Dudney emphasized that students are more willing to participate if the students had some form of ownership of the digital device, such as the laptop or computer. Also, in relation to participation, Francis explains that the implementation of ICT within a classroom environment for the completion of activities and assessment tasks improves participation on a micro level, while at the same time promoting academic achievement on a macro level. The last theme highlighted from the synthesis was the transferability of skills. This aspect is defined as the utilization of traditional based skills such as reading and writing within the digital environment. Newhouse demonstrates through a study that the transfer of traditional skills such as assessment task writing on pen and paper to digital device applications, including applications like Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, was quickly picked up by students. Elmadi, Al-Hatamar, and Fazi indicates that the use of traditional skills using technology are not only complemented with digital technology, but are also enhanced and more effective. Jordan states that e-assessments and activities allow students to use pre-existing skills, yet at the same time provide students with far greater access and a range of new learning skills that couldn't be attained through traditional mediums. Conclusively, in accordance to the overarching topic, the literacy demonstrated a positive impact on student participation within the classroom.
In relation to the data collection protocol implemented to address the overarching topic of the impacts of ICT on student participation in the classroom, the group has determined that results from 2 surveys and a set of interviews will be used. The results from these surveys and interviews will tie into the 3 common themes identified earlier. As stated before, digital literacy improves attitudes towards ICT classroom learning. Students are more confident because they are digital natives. This is reflected in their willingness to participate with confidence in their own learning. In a set of interviews carried out regarding ICT and assessment tasks, participants were asked if they felt confident to use technology to complete assessments. Every participant within the interview stated that they indeed did feel confident enough to use technology to complete tasks, and where they struggled, they sought out help from their teacher. Similarly, in a set of surveys completed, students were asked if they felt confident using ICT within the classroom. A combined total of 69% of students stated that they strongly agreed to feeling more confident to use ICT in the classroom. Also, a total of 68% of students stated that they strongly agreed to enjoying using ICT to complete classroom-related activities. Results from the data collection avidly demonstrate more active participation to learning on the students' behalf. When the students who participated in the interviews were asked, "Do you believe technology should be used more in assessments?" the majority of the feedback demonstrated that in fact ICT-based learning was generating more active participation due to once again digital literacy, enjoyment of activities, and resourcefulness. Similarly, when completing a survey on the use of ICT gadgets within PE lessons, students were asked if bringing technology into the class would make them feel more excited to get physically active and participate within PE lessons. Over 82% of the students who participated in the survey responded that they strongly agreed to the latter question. Finally, the use of ICT as a transferable skill is one that is demonstrated across the data collection protocol. Within the series of interviews conducted, students were asked to recall a memorable assessment task completed which incorporated the use of ICT. From this, student responses demonstrated the different uses of ICT across a variety of different subject areas, including history, geography, food technology, and IT software. Similarly, a set of surveys which were completed within the data collection protocol were focused around the use of ICT within the PDHPE discipline. This once again demonstrates the effectiveness of developing skills across different curriculum areas, which can be used to further build on digital literacy and actively engage student participation.
Now we will be discussing the design of our action research study, covering aspects of data collection procedures, ethical considerations, and how our research findings inform our classroom practices. Our action research project focuses on two dominant data collection methods, and they are surveys and interviews. When conducting surveys, we considered avoiding technical terms and jargon. This avoids any misunderstandings of what the survey question is asking by using simple and concise language. We also avoided using complex, double or triple-barreled questions to prevent miscommunication or confusion of the survey takers. Additionally, when looking for single answers, we used a continuum of answers to cater to all possible responses, ranging from strongly agree to neutral to strongly disagree. Lastly, we avoided leading questions that may leave us with biased responses to provide a positive outcome for our project. Avoiding such biased answers allows us to obtain valid data from surveys that contain genuine responses from our survey takers. When conducting interviews, we considered allowing for interviewees to answer questions with sufficient time and ensuring questions are clear and concise. The skillful management of silence is vital to a successful interview. To do this, we never interrupt interviewees when they are speaking, even more so when they stop speaking or think about what their answer should be. This allows them to answer the questions with genuinity and create valid data to be collected. Additionally, we consider keeping a record of the interview. We did this by transcribing, as audio recording or video recording was prohibited by all schools where our research was conducted due to our interviewees or survey takers being minors. The ethical considerations put in place for our action research project includes informed consent by the school, parent and students. This allows all parties participating in the research project to be aware of what the project entails and the confidentiality agreement in which is agreed upon when consent forms are signed. Additionally, privacy is also considered through data collection procedures. We will be keeping our data stored for 5 years, protecting all identities involved in this research in order to keep all data safe and secure from any harm. Additionally, we accounted for potential risk of harm. When conducting this research, we considered the possibility of risk of harm as students are minors. Therefore, we asked parents to sign consent forms to allow them to understand what is involved in the project. Additionally, we applied the DET OH&S policies to avoid any risk of harm and any possible risk of harms to be accounted for. Also, we considered the possible benefits of this project to the school, parents, and the students. The benefit of this action research project is that it will inform our school's educators on how to utilize ICT in the classroom effectively to generate higher levels of participation in the classroom, therefore allowing an overall benefit to everyone involved in the research. Lastly, we considered avoiding researcher bias and manipulation of data. All of the research and data collected in this research will be re-evaluated by the executive committee of the school to ensure the researcher bias was not involved. Lastly, we'll be discussing how our findings inform our practice. It changes the way we provide ICT-based classroom content to low SES classrooms because we consider the impact of bring your own devices versus devices provided by the school on student learning. Also, it changes the way we assess student learning. The use of ICT can be used to motivate students to enhance their knowledge on content. And lastly, our project allows us to change how physical education lessons are implemented by motivating students to increase physical activity in PE by using devices such as Fitbits. On behalf of our team, I would like to thank you all for listening to our Action Research Project presentation.